Welcome to Talking Politics. I'm your host this evening, Mia Scanga, and tonight you're going to be meeting 4 of the 15 candidates who are running for the Jersey City Board of Ed. We're also going to be taping a second show today, so you'll meet 4 additional candidates. As for the other 7, well, 3 of them I never heard back from, and one of them is an incumbent who's running for another term, who's been on the board since like 2003 or so. 2 of them declined. At least they contacted me. I always find it so odd because there are so few avenues out there where the candidates can present themselves at no cost to them except for an hour's worth of their time. So they declined, and then 2 others accepted and declined, but one couldn't schedule it because she also works a part-time position. I do want to comment that, being on the Jersey City Board of Ed with a $660 million budget can be very time-consuming, and it's an act of love because there is no compensation, no paid benefits. So you have to really juggle your time. And the other person I accommodated with a schedule change, and it still didn't work, but whatever. Now the election has been moved from April to November as part of the general election, Tuesday, November 5th, and the polls are open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. So now you're going to be meeting with Gabriel, who's to my right, and DeJon Morris. So, Carol, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and why you're running for Board of Ed?
I recently retired from the Board of Ed in June past, and having been in the system for 27 years.
As a teacher?
As a paraprofessional, I've gone out to a majority of the schools and work-study programs, inclusion programs, and there's many things that are wonderful that are happening, but there are also some negative things out there. And my primary thing is reading. I was told that each child entering the system now in pre-K will be tested for dyslexia. I think it should go beyond the children who are entering.
Okay.
But this should go all the way up through even middle school.
Okay.
Because if a child cannot read, a child can't do a mathematics problem that's written. They can't do social studies, their English, nothing. They can't do a thing.
Okay.
And if dyslexia is ruled out and there's still a problem,
right,
I feel the child should have an eye examination, a thorough one.
Okay. All right. And what about you, DeJon?
Hi. First of all, Mia, thank you for inviting me to your show. My name is DeJon Morris, and I am currently a Jersey City police detective, and I also am the co-pastor of one of the largest Baptist churches here in the city of Jersey City. The question was asked, why am I running for the school board? I'm running for the school board because I care about the children of Jersey City and the 300+ children that attend my church, and the almost 600 or 6,000 children that I serve and protect within the Greenville area of Jersey City. I believe that we are severely behind with technology in our school. I believe that our curriculum is severely behind, and I believe that we need to come up to the 21st century so that our children will be able to stand a chance against the students who they will have to battle with on a college level for the Ivy League colleges. So that's one of the reasons why I'm running for the Jersey City Board of Education.
Okay, fine. Now, so you're a police detective. Do you have any connections with the Jersey City Board of Ed, or are you being supported by any of the groups, such as the Teachers Association, or?
I'm currently not being supported by any of the groups, but I have been endorsed by the 31st Legislative Senator Sandra Bowden Cunningham, as well as the 3rd District Freeholder Jeffrey Dublin.
Oh, and Jeffrey Dublin. Okay, and what about yourself, Carol?
I'm strictly independent. Donations, friends within the system who have worked along with me through the years, and they like my ideas, and parents I've spoken to.
Okay. Yeah. All right, that's fine. Now, Carol, have you been involved with any civic associations as a resident of Jersey City?
Not recently. When I was in college, I was.
Oh, when you were in
community, a lot of community time donated, but not recently in the last few years.
Okay. What about yourself, DeJon?
I've been involved with many civic associations within Jersey City through the churches, and I'm a part of the Interdenominational Ministerial Alliances, who does a lot of community work and focuses on children. I'm also involved with Sandy Cunningham's foundation for the children, providing them with scholarships, and also my church. We also supply scholarships for about 15 to 16 students per year.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Okay, fine, fine. Have either one of you run for Board of Ed in the past?
No.
Yes, I have. This is actually my third time running.
Oh, your third time running. Okay. Well, it's your first time on the show. Thanks for coming. Okay.
Well, thank you for having me.
Wonderful. Okay. Now, Carol, have you attended Board of Ed meetings?
Yes, I have.
And how recently?
And I go to all of them, except, and if I missed them in the past, I would always flick on channel 1.
Oh, okay, fine. What about yourself?
I've been to a couple of meetings, and I was just recently criticized for not attending more meetings. But that's the purpose of the Board of Education spending the money to have it on Channel 1, so that people who can't make it to the meetings can watch it on television.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So,
but I've heard that they now don't allow cameras.
Well, the last meeting that I went to, I think it was the first meeting they had when they came back this year. There was a big discussion about why the cameras were not there.
Right.
And I pretty much understand why they're not there, because you have people who are going there to talk obscenities to the superintendent and to the board members, and nothing gets accomplished. It's almost like you get there, you stand there to explain who you are, and you have 30 people behind you clapping, but nothing gets done at the end of the day. So I guess to take the distraction off of people showcasing themselves and get the business done, they probably had to get rid of it.
Oh, I see. And what are your thoughts on that?
I disagree. I think it should be broadcast, definitely.
Okay.
It should be taped.
Okay.
Because there are legitimate issues put out there.
Right, right. No, I'm sure there are a district with the
Yeah.
size of Jersey City. I know it, I went a few times to tape and to put it on Talking Politics, but they allowed us. I mean, I was so far back. First of all, I could barely get the board members. They were so tiny. And the audio, unless you're a professional with, and even professionals, I must have been like 60 feet back.
Wow.
So it really made for lousy TV, quite frankly, because you really couldn't make out what they were saying. But I mean, Channel 1 should be there all the time, at least, and filming it. Okay, fine. Now, in terms of being, in terms of the budget, because that always comes up, it goes up every year. We're looking at least another 2% increase in our school taxes, which makes up about, I think, 40% of our tax bills here in Jersey City, which is significantly less than in the suburbs, where most suburban towns, it's like 75% of their tax, because we get so much state aid. What are your thoughts on the budget? Have you had a chance to take a look at it?
I'm one of those people, when I go to a board meeting, they give out maybe 3 copies of the previous meetings. I read them. And cutbacks can be made. I've noticed checks for some programs that I thought this isn't necessary. There can be cutbacks made, simple, and applied to other things.
Right. And what about yourself?
Well,
anything specific?
Well, the budget is $661 million. There is a severe amount of wasteful spending within that budget that could be better utilized. I'm a proponent that believes that money should be spent closer to the classroom. And from the looks of the budget that we have now, there's really about 20% of that $661 million is actually focused toward the classroom, which is a problem. But moreover, they are focused on salaries. Just recently, I'm sure you read about the headliner about the athletic director who received $170,000 in salary. Clearly, I'm sure we could have found someone who was just as qualified, who could have been, whose salary could have been half of that to preserve the funds for someone else.
Right.
Or another program that could have been implemented within the Jersey City Board of Education.
Right, right, yeah.
So there's a lot of wasteful spending.
Yeah, there's always been a lot of discussion that there's too many external consulting teams that come in for really astronomical sums of money. And people have told me that literally they order textbooks and they never get used. That's what I've heard.
It's happened.
It's happened,
Yes, Mia.
brand new textbooks, tens of thousands of dollars, and they never even get used.
Well, that's a problem.
Yeah, it's a serious problem because after a while we can't afford the taxes anymore. Okay. Now, in terms of committees, because I've noticed in the paper sometimes a lot of the committee meetings are during the day. Well, you're retired, so that's not a problem. But what about yourself in terms of, I mean, is there any specific committees that you'd want to be on, and would you be able to attend those? I know the chairperson of the committee can designate the time slot.
That wouldn't be a problem for me. I did analyze the entire process before I decided to run again. My work schedule will not interfere with me attending committees, and I don't have a specific committee that I would like to be a part of. I would just like to be a part of making a difference within the Board of Education. Whatever committee it is that they assign me to once I'm elected, I will, make sure that I do my best to try to make sure that the kids are secured, and as well the parents are informed.
Okay, fine. What about yourself, Carol?
I'm open to anything that, any way I can help, they need me, I will definitely jump in right there.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine. So there's no specific committees or anything like that. Okay, great. All right, so why don't you, DeJon, why don't we start with you, okay? Why don't you tell our audience why they should, oh, by the way, there are 15 people running, 2 people are running for a 1-year term, and the other 13 are running for a 3-year term. You both are running for a full 3-year term, and the top 4 vote getters win. There's no runoff, okay? So tell the audience why they should select you to be one of the 4 people.
Well, I believe that one of the reasons why I should be selected or why I should win your vote is because there needs to be a change on the Board of Education in the thinking process. We need to understand that that the higher elected officials that we have there were elected to do a specific job, as well as the board members were elected to do a job as well, and we're being held accountable for that. I want to be held accountable for the children of Jersey City, not only the children of Jersey City, but for the employees of the Board of Education. And the reason why is because I feel like they have just been so unjustly treated. I believe that every idea should be given to the community. I'm sure recently you guys have heard about the strike force situation that has taken place. And although I commend the Board of Education's ability to want to secure the children, the community, the parents, and the teachers should be involved in this thinking process. That's why we have an election process. And everyone should have a seat at the table to make that decision. I want to be there to implement that and make sure that it happens. I'm not going to wait until I run for office to implement a policy like some of our incumbents have done. It should have already been implemented and put into place. So that's why I'm running for the Jersey City Board of Education, 1K, and that is why I would hope that I won your vote.
Okay, Carol?
I have been in the classrooms for 27 years. As I said, there are many positive things, and there are a lot of improvement it's got to be done. I just cannot see us being a failing district. These test scores being so low, there is a way to build them up. And not starting with our pre-K, let's go all the way up and help our children. My main concern is the reading. We have to teach our children how to read. And I am 3K. Mia, thank you for my being here, and I will do the best I possibly can for your children.
All right, fine. So don't turn that dial. We have 2 more candidates coming up, Carol Lester and Kevaan Walton. So thank you both for being on the show, and best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Okay, and with me I have Carol Lester, who is an incumbent and is running for re-election for a 1-year term, and Kevaan Walton, who is also running for a 3-year term. So, Kevaan, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're running for the Board of Ed?
Okay, my name is Kevaan Walton. I graduated from Seton Hall University with a bachelor's in social and behavior science. I now work with the Jersey City Medical Center with the Child and Adolescent Behavioral Health Department. I'm running for the Jersey City Board of Education because the #1 priority is to keep our schools public. The youth in Jersey City deserve a quality public education, and right now the public domain is being usurped by private interests. So we have to keep our schools public, and that's my #1 priority.
Okay, fine. And Carol?
I'm running for the Jersey City Board of Education as an incumbent candidate because I feel that I've done a lot of heavy lifting and I've really helped move this district in a great direction, and there's a lot more to do. So I want to help do that. I've been a resident of Jersey City for 25 years, worked in a variety of businesses, and I really feel that it's important to help the community that we live in, and we're really right on the cusp of having a really wonderful education system for everybody in it.
Okay, fine. Now, you've been on the board for about 3.5 years. Why are you running only for a 1-year term as opposed to a full 3 years?
Well, I think that the largest lifting has already occurred. The massive change in leadership a complete reorganization of central office. Everyone is streamlined now into job descriptions and accountability that really are going to help student achievement and help let the teachers and the principals be more in charge of their building. So I feel we need a little bit more of a push in continuity, which I want to provide, and then we really can spread the best practices around and really eliminate any lingering bad practices.
Oh, okay. But you still haven't answered why 1 as opposed to 3.
When I do something, I really do it a lot. So, 10 to 30-hour weeks sometimes on the Board of Education. I am able to do that for the next year, but after that, I really can't. After 4.5 years.
Right.
Yes.
Right. It is a tremendous time commitment. That's why I commented on the first half of the show. One candidate couldn't schedule in because she has a full and a part-time position. I don't know where you'd find the time to be on the Board of Ed, in addition to your current commitments.
Right.
Now, Kevaan, have you run for office or for Board of Ed in the past?
No, I've never.
Oh, this is your
my
first time. Okay,
running
good,
for Jersey
good,
City.
wonderful. Now, have you been involved with any of the community groups in Jersey City, or anything civic?
Yes, I was involved with the National Urban League.
Okay.
I was the SAVE Assistant Coordinator, which was a financial literacy program catered to financial literacy for youth.
Oh, okay, fine. That's fine. And what about yourself, Carol, besides, the Board of Ed?
Let's see. Starting from when my daughter was very small, things that had to do with the light rail, environmental concerns during construction at Liberty Harbor North, 111 Studio, the Artist Studio, the embankment, the reservoir, a lot of green issues, a lot of education issues. I helped found the Learning Community Charter School. I was their board president for many years. Where are teachers unionized? Local neighborhood things, a lot of things.
Oh, okay, fine. Now, your
and anti-fracking.
Anti-fracking, yeah, okay. Now, do you have any children in the public schools, or do you have any children?
No, I have no children.
No children. And
No
your
children.
daughter's in college, you just told
My
us.
daughter's in college.
Right, okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. In terms of Carol, you've been on a number of committees and such. Which committees have you been on?
I was vice president for 1 year, and then I served on 5 committees as needed. So I chaired 5 of them. Policy, ed programs, curriculum, and superintendent search, the national superintendent search.
Right, yeah, that must have been very time consuming.
Yes.
Right. Oh, okay. And what about yourself?
Committees?
Yeah, which committees would you be interested in being on?
Absolutely, policy.
Oh.
I think policy is crucial in terms of the legislation implemented in our board, and also education programs. I think tackling a holistic education, not just academia, but in terms of extracurricular activities that focus on development, educational development, is crucial to our city and some of the things where we're lacking.
Oh, okay, fine. That's fine. All right, terrific. Now, in terms of support, Kevaan, are you an independent, or are you being endorsed by the teachers union or another group?
Currently, right now, I'm running independently.
You're running independently. And what about yourself, Carol?
I'm part of a team called Jersey City Candidates for Excellence.
Okay.
So it's 3 other women, their moms, Ellen Simon, Jessica Day, and Micheline Amy. And we're right now running as a group together. We don't have any formal backings, but we're open to them. I forgot to mention Science, Technology, and Green Initiatives. That's the committee I currently run. But anyway.
Yeah, that's important to mention.
It is important.
Oh, all right. Okay, that's fine. So, are any candidates being supported by the teachers union? Does anybody know?
To my knowledge, not yet.
Well, how life has changed. It used to be whoever the teachers union endorsed, they won because they had the money and the foot soldiers. Wow, life has really changed. Amazing. Okay, fine. Now, you obviously have attended a number of board meetings since you're on the board.
Yes, I have.
And what about yourself, Kevaan? Have you been to board meetings or committee meetings?
I haven't physically attended the board meetings. I've viewed a few of them, what they allowed me to view.
What they allow you to view?
Yeah, in terms of, you know, the whole thing with the cameras and the board meetings now.
Right,
but,
right.
I've viewed a few of the meetings. I've never physically attended the meetings. So.
Oh, okay, all right. Have you had a chance to take a look at the budget, which is online? There's a user-friendly version, and I'll flash up the address on the screen. It's very long, but you can find it under departments, business and finance, and it gives you a lot of statistical information. Have you had a chance to take a look at that?
Yes, I viewed that there is a $660 million budget. Of which right now we have 56% not directly being funded to the education of our children in terms of supplies, in terms of programming. 56% of the budget is allocated to salaries, and so that
56% is allocated to salaries.
Yes.
Well, that wouldn't be surprising because the primary cost is teachers' salaries, right? Right, yeah.
So
I'm surprised it's only 56%, but whatever. Okay, okay, yeah. I did notice that and that's nationwide, the health insurance premiums really went up. And that happens with all companies now, double digits. So, yeah, that's a major expense for the school district.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Now, for your next, if reelected, Carol, what exactly do you have a goal in mind on something you'd like to accomplish?
I do, and if I stay on my current committee, which is Science, Technology, and Green Initiatives, last year I spearheaded Wi-Fi in every building, so our students can now do the kinds of projects, hands-on project-based learning that students in wealthier suburban districts can do. More partnerships with science and technology schools, expanding the arts. We have a lot of really wonderful things going on that just need focus. When we talk about the budget, we're now entering a 3-year budget planning season, and I really fought for having a 3-year budget. We have a demographic study that is just going to be delivered, and we're going to be able to fold that into it. And a 3-year strategic plan, and all these different plans coming in, and just the continuity of bringing them forward and really being able to allocate the money into the classroom, as much of it as possible. And teachers are our most important resource in the classroom because they are the professionals. So I have no problem with our budget going to our teachers and our professionals who teach the children, because they do need professionals teaching them.
Right.
But we need to have more hands-on opportunities for them.
Okay, fine. And Kevaan, is there anything in particular, like you have a goal in mind of something you'd like to see accomplished when you get elected to the board?
Absolutely. I think my biggest goal with the board is incorporating some community engagement in terms of what are we doing actively to get parents actively involved. I think one of the #1 complaints that teachers have is that there's no parent involvement. And so that's really, as a community, where we're struggling, and as a board, we need to look at some ways we can implement some programming and ideas to get that jump shot.
Okay, fine. So we're running a little low on time here. So why don't we start with you, Kevaan? Tell us why, there are 15 people, there are 4 slots that are open, why people should select you for one of the 3-year terms to the Board of Ed.
I think the biggest thing that I want to convey is transparency. I think as a board member, my main goal is to serve my constituents as opposed to impose my own agenda. What the people want and what they need is my absolute goal, and so that's why I think they should vote 1J.
Okay,
November the
1J.
5th.
All right. And Carol, you're really running against Angel, who's
Yes.
also an incumbent, so it's either one of you would be selected. And he did not respond to my invite, but he's been on the show before. I guess it scared him off, whatever, who knows. So why should they select you as opposed to Angel?
Vote for Carol Lester, 6J. I highly endorse this candidate. I'm always there. I serve where I'm needed, when I'm needed. I really spearheaded a lot of great initiatives. I have a whole folder full of great things that have been happening that I just didn't even get to. Free SAT, PSAT, test prep for all the kids.
Really?
Yeah, AP courses and more college credits upon graduation. So all the kinds of things that when I said I was going to run for and I wanted to have happen, 3 years later, they happened. It's been 3 years. I got a lot done. So that's what I have to say about why you should choose me for the 1-year spot.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. Well, I thank both of you for being on the show. Best of luck on the election, which is Tuesday, November 5th, and the polls are open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Thank you so much, and best of luck.
Thank you.
I just wanted to comment that this time around, I've been doing this for a number of years. It was really difficult to schedule the candidates. And it turns out that you only need 10 signatures to be on the board, to run for Board of Ed. I think the state needs to revisit that, considering that it's now part of the general election, because I find consistently almost half of the candidates never respond to you. And I really think they just want to see their names on the ballot or build some name recognition. But that's the extent of their interest on being on the board. And for a city with 250,000 people and a $661 million budget, we need people who are serious about it. And we don't need a ballot that's cluttered with names. So I hope the state, and we should petition the state, is going to change the number of signatures required and raise it to at least 100 signatures, which is still a minor number, as opposed to the current practice of 10. So I hope you've enjoyed this show. Please tell your friends and neighbors about Talking Politics. And all our shows run off our website, talkingpolitics.net. And good night.